The Locks and the Dipset. Get in my hand.
Donald John, bro.
Okay. Now, once again, for what are the young brothers, as you brothers know, I am no expert on rap music. Okay?
Right.
I don't know about it or know anything about it at all. But I do know the Bible and the truth. That's my business. And the brothers called me about this and explained the whole thing to me. Let's first play what happened that night.
Okay, so you want the video of the
The actual night. So the group, The Locks, is a rap group from about the 90s. They were with Puff Diddy and Biggie Smalls, and they had giant hits that I've heard of before. Those, it's all about the Benjamins, baby. I heard about that. And a few other big songs like that, right? So now they were very big, and they battled this other group that I've also heard of some of their songs. Ballin', I've heard of. They had some other big songs, this group called Dipset or Diplomat Set. They had a versus battle.
I'm not a role model.
Whenever you get it, let me know. They had a versus battle, and everyone loved it. First of all, once again, let's thank New York City. Give New York a hand, man. And this something, as I was watching this battle was so New York. And you know, I love anything New York. And and the Israelite school of UPK was born out of this kind of environment. An overtly aggressive environment. People from New York, brothers and sisters from overseas and other parts of the world, they don't understand it.
Right.
But New York is uber aggressive.
No cap.
It's like such an aggressive place. Like New York is New York is not passive aggressive. New York is aggressive.
Right.
Everything is aggressive. To drive 2 blocks is a war. Like it's like this is a war. And you putting on your seatbelt. Like, all right, let's get on. Fuck you, motherfucker! It's a war to go 2 blocks. You have to fight to be here. You understand? To actually be here, you're going to have to go to war. To just live here. No one speaks to you. No one is nice. No one says hi. Everyone is angry that the other person is even here. You're angry that they're driving on the road with you.
Right.
You're angry that they live next to you. You're angry that they're walking by you. You understand? It's like, it's a place where you have to take ground because no one gives you any ground. No one allows you to do a damn thing here. And I love this place. It is the most beautiful place on the earth. New York is Jerusalem. That is what this place is. It is the motherland. It is 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. It is the most beautiful place on the planet. Now, this battle, it was just so New York that it was beautiful. Like, it was beautiful. The aggression of it was absolutely beautiful. Captain Cesar was telling me about the, what's those other battles? The URL and that Loaded Lux you told me about. What's the other one? That other brother. It was one brother you told me you thought was a good brother. B-Dot. Give him a hand. And that whole thing, and it's such a New York culture to just get in someone's face and just battle him until he quits. And it's how the UPK was born.
Right.
The UPK is like that. And here we settle things the old way. And the Locks and the Dipset, they did it the old way, brother. That's the old way. It wasn't record sales, and it was just the old way. It was that we all gonna stand here, and in the end of this, everyone will know who won. And that's something about a battle that's so beautiful. No one takes a vote for a battle. There's no judges, but you always know who won. It's like it's not like debatable. It's clear who won a battle. And in that way, it's so much like what we do in the UPK. We go out in that street corner, brother, and we are there to battle. We're speaking and speaking and speaking, but we are there knowing that we don't get to just stand here in New York. We don't get to just stand here and give what we think about God. We understand that by being here, we invite opposition. And we train for it perpetually, every day, constantly. It's our lifestyle to just train for a battle if it never happens. If it never happens, fine. But we are prepared for it when it comes because this is where the school came from. The school came from this kind of soil, from this place that is just aggressive. No one gives you anything. No one lets you do anything. If you want to stand on a street corner, then you're going to have to defend your feet being there. You're going to have to do it, and that is where the UPK comes from. And it's the whole culture of the school, and now that culture is in Trinidad. The brothers in Trinidad are just as hard and confrontational as you brothers in New York are. The brothers in the UK, the brothers in Houston, the brothers in Texas. All of you are defenders of the faith because you were born out of this place where you really can't have a faith unless you're ready to defend it. You're just not allowed to do it. And that's why this locks thing is such a good metaphor for what we do in the UPK. Two men, they oppose each other, they disagree about who's better, and they get on stage in front of people to see who is better. That's every camp day. It reminds me so much of of Elijah, when Elijah battled the priest of Baal. And the priest of Baal, it was so many of them. And Paul said, no problem. We're going to meet here this day. And we're going to have two altars. Whichever God burns the sacrifice of the altar, that God is the true living God. That's what Elijah said. And then he said, well, because there's so many of you, you go first. Even that. And on this tape, they battled about who was going first. That is biblical. That is always in everything. Pull that scripture if you want. Elijah, they battled about who would go first. Because in a battle, who goes first matters. It matters. It's something you have to think about before the battle. And do I want to go first or should he go first? Wait a minute. Let me give you something Tazar knows. In general, always make them go first. In general. It might be a time where you can't do that, but in general, you want them to go first so that they can get all of that mess out and you can come in and clean up afterwards. Elijah did that. Elijah said, listen, there's so many of y'all. I'm just here by myself, me and a few young brothers. You go first. And they prayed until the evening. They prayed all day to their God, saying, Baal, burn this sacrifice on this altar. Please.
This 1 Kings 18 and 25. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves and dress it first, for ye are many.
That's what he said. You choose one bull. A bullock is a young bull. You are many, so you dress it. You kill the bull, put it on the altar, and let's wait and see if your God burns it. Any more? That's it.
It said what you said, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under it.
Meaning you couldn't light a fire. You had to sit there with a dead bull on a rock. And whatever God just set it on fire, that God is the true living God. It's a challenge, Jock. It's a challenge, and he challenged them because they were, of course, saying he was wrong. He was saying they are wrong. Let's settle this, man. No problem. Let's do this the old way. Let's do this the way David just made a decision about who was right, him or Goliath. Let's just do this the old way. And they waited, and they did it because there was more of them. They went first. And they prayed all night, all day. Nothing happened. Then finally, at the end, it was Elijah's turn. Go ahead, Tazar, give me that, Elijah's turn.
You want Elijah's turn when he was talking trash?
Yes. Khan, the water.
This is 1 Kings 18 and 30. And Elijah said unto the people, come near unto me, all the people that came near unto him, and he repaired the altar. I'm sorry, when he was talking trash to them while they were trying to get it.
Now, that's good, but I don't have time for it. Just give me when he had his turn.
And Elijah took all the people, come near unto me, all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down.
About just like you can get my the Dipset videos up there about them.
Okay, come.
The water. Go ahead.
Verse 31. And Elijah took 12 stones.
She gets so wet, it gets so sticky, gotta take a go.
The water.
Not that one. I'm good with that. Y'all know this. This the versus battle right here. This is them. You can look that up online. But give me when the Dipset lost the battle.
No.
Right?
Lost
Give me,
the battle.
Yeah, when they lost it. The Dipset lost the battle before the battle. Before it ever happened. Give me the interviews that we have with the Dipset. That's the point of this. Here's Elijah winning his battle up. He's winning his battle. They went first. He went next. He put his bull on the altar. Go ahead, Jazariah.
Khan. And Elijah took 12 stones according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came.
12
saying,
tribes of the nation of Israel, unto whom the word of the Lord came. The 12 tribes of Israel. He put 12 stones up there because that's always what this is about. These nations hating these 12 people. Keep going.
Khan, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he made a trench about the altar as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order and cut the bullock in pieces and laid them on the wood and said, fill 4 barrels with water and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood.
Not only did he put the bull on the wood, he took, now, you know a beer barrel? He took 4 beer barrels, drenched the bull in water, and drenched the wood in water that was under the bull to set it on fire. He soaked all of it. This is a tactic, and you need faith to do this. But in a battle, you have to do things like this. And remember, for those of you out there that think the Dipset won the battle, it's fine. But this is what you have to remember if you're in the UPK. What I do now? What's so damn funny? What now? The name of the group is the Dipset. Is it or not? Damn. All right, shit. The group now, I'm trying the best I can. The young brothers need me to do
No,
this.
you ain't say it wrong,
Okay,
sir.
Salakia.
No, you ain't say nothing wrong, sir.
Okay,
Salakia.
Come on.
I think they're laughing at the fact that anyone would think that Dipset actually won the battle.
Oh, damn. Okay, all right. Give yourself that. The water. I didn't know that. Okay, well, listen. That's it. I'm allowing, it's all art, and I know that people, you know, okay, the UPK doesn't have one team we are on, okay? You can like the Dipset, you can like the Lock, you can like whoever the hell you want to like. You can like Michael Jordan, you can like LeBron James, you can like Wilt Chamberlain. It's up to you. It's all just entertainment, all right? But this is what you have to know if you're in the UPK. What you think does not matter when it comes to a battle.
Right.
The people decide who wins a battle. And you need to remember that. You can't leave a battle thinking, yeah, I got over him, but the crowd thought you lost.
Right.
If the crowd thought you lost, you lost. And that's important because you don't want to get self-absorbed.
Right.
You get my point? Self-absorbed is like, you know you brung out right scriptures. But remember, why are we even battling today? We're battling today for the minds of the people watching. Mm-hmm. That's the point. If I already believe I'm right, you already believe you're right. So at the end of it, if we still believe we're right, then what was the point of doing it? Mm-hmm. We did it to convince people that I'm right and you're wrong. That's the point. So in this battle, the Locks won. Mm-hmm. That is undebatable.
That's right.
You can't debate that. Now you can say, well, no, the Locks, see, they just didn't do their good material. Or the Locks just, they're waiting until the show, the concert to do it. Solid. But they lost tonight. That is clear and evident. Salaki, the Dipset lost tonight. That's clear because that is what the people say. And a battle is about who is watching. And you need that to be in the UPK.
That's right.
The battle is not about what you think in your brain. The battle is about who sees it. Does everyone understand? You are making an example of an enemy. He is your enemy, and you are making an example of him. You're trying to show the people that think he's a man of God. People used to think Farrakhan was a man of God until Commanding General YAHANNA got him. Right. Mm-hmm. Now you don't know who Farrakhan is. Right. He's gone. Right? The purple homosexuals, they're next. In the UPK, we wipe out our enemies. We destroy them. We have a battle and we soak the altar with water. And we soak the wood with water, Captain.
And he said, do it the second time.
Do it again. Soak it, then soak it again. So really, there's no possible way this can ever set on fire, because he soaked it twice with 4 barrels of water. Keep going.
And they did it the second time, and he said, do it the third time.
Do it one more time. Do it again. So 4 times 3, 18? 18 barrels of water. Keep going.
They did it the third time.
12? 12, Salaki, keep going.
And the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art power in Israel, and that I am thy servant.
Let it be what?
Let it be known this day.
Let it be what?
Let it be known.
That's the point, young brothers. The point, you already believe in the truth.
That's right.
The point of a battle is to make other people believe. To make them believe, you have to destroy your enemy. You have to make an example of him.
Right.
They believe in him. You understand? People believe that those purple faggots are wonderful, good Christian Israelites.
That's right.
Dignified, nice, pretty garments. They only have one wife,
Right.
which makes them so much better than us when we got a rack of ribs with us all the time, which makes us just barbarian animals. These cats have one rib, and they don't talk like we talk. They're good.
Right.
They believe in them. They got masses of people that think that's the preferable Israelite group. The FBI ain't chasing them around like they chasing my black ass around everywhere I go, every plane I get on. No, come on. Canadian borders. Tazariah came home. Who was in your living room, Tazariah?
CIA.
The CIA. In his goddamn living room when he gets in the house. Ashar, who was in your house when you came home? The FBI at Ashar's house. We can't go anywhere.
Right.
Because we look like killers and murderers.
Right.
So Tazariah has to have the CIA in his damn living room. He come home, he says, sir, I came home. The CIA.
Sit there.
Ashar called me. I opened my door today. The FBI out there know me, know my name, know everything about me, asking me questions. You think they get bothered like that? They don't, because they're the ones that everybody likes.
That's right.
Right.
We're going to make an example of them.
Right. Right.
We're going to take the Christians and the Muslims and the people who are so beloved, and we are going to prove that we're beloved of God. God is with us. He soaked the altar. He soaked it 3 more times. Captain.
Kanawakan. Let it be known this day that thou art power in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word.
That's what we're trying to prove. Let me tell you something now. Don't ever think that we won't do anything to prove that Israel is the nation that God prefers.
That's right.
And that commanding General YAHANNA is his servant.
That's right.
We'll do it. Elijah said it just now. Let them know that this is the nation that thou preferred, and that I am thy servant.
That's right.
Brother, we'll prove Commander General YAHANNA is a servant of God. Ooh,
That's right.
will. Don't think we won't. You come to battle us. Just know that we are all in. All in. Keep going.
Kanawakan. Hear me, O Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the power, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then the fire of the Most High fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench.
Brother, fire came down from the sky, ate up the sacrifice, ate up the wood, ate up everything around the sacrifice, ate up everything, burned everything to death. Because God is with us,
Kanawakan.
and if you don't know, come see.
Kanawakan.
The Dipset and the Locks went out there that day for that same purpose, to see. And that's a good thing, man. That's the old way to do things, right? And the Locks won.
That's right.
God was with the Locks. It's one point out where the Jim Jones fell off the damn podium. Yeah. Now listen, I've been in a lot of battles, brother. If I fall off the podium in the middle of a battle, I'm going to turn to Zaryak and say, look, you got it up. I'm gonna go sit in the van because clearly the Lord is not with me today. And I'm fine with that. That's all right. I ain't gonna cry about it. He has been with me many days. If he ain't with me one day, he can be with him. I'll go sit in the goddamn van. But the Jim Jones fell off the podium.
Right.
And it was on tape.
Kind of a cuss.
And then the Cameron, he went up at the end. He went up at the end and tried to freestyle or something.
Right.
And it was embarrassing. I was embarrassed. And you could tell, okay, Cameron went up on the thing, right? And he went to freestyle to say, you say we don't have any bars. You say we don't have any bars, so he went to show all the bars he has. And listen, it was such a desperate ploy. It was so sad. And the only person that would do that is someone that knew they lost.
Right.
Even attempting it meant, wait. I know we lost, but let me try. I got bars. Don't think that. And he went to try to do it, and it was sad and embarrassing. Now, here's what I need you to see. The Dipset lost that battle before that night. Mm-hmm. I'll show you when they lost the battle. Abaji.
Con, sir. There's Jim Jones.
You want some precepts, sir?
Please hold on to it. Let's play the video, and I'll give you the
There's
precepts.
Jim Jones right here.
Go ahead.
And I escape those situations and come back and still give niggas high five. Let's do it. What we doing today?
And you know, Jim, we never talked about that. About that situation.
Any situation. There's been numerous situations.
That situation,
There's
did
been
that
times I've been
situation
on the
make,
road
did
where
that
there was
situation?
shootouts. There's been
Salaki, if I
times
made
where
it stop short, when he's talking, what he's just talking about is, we never talked about that situation. Jim Jones got beat up and jumped. And in the video, I believe I showed you, but you said you didn't want to see all that. Cameron is seen, the video's kind of grainy. Cameron is seen running the other direction.
Okay, we're about to show you about 5 or 6, and we could show more.
God.
Videos of how much the Dipset hate each other. They hate each other. This is one with him crying about how they left him when he was being assaulted. They left him. And he's crying about it because he feels betrayed by this same group that he was on stage with and for some reason thought he could battle someone with. Play it.
Khan, sir. Just 1 second. Salakia. Yeah, Khan, sir. That's what it was. Khan.
Cousins go to jail for 5 years for this that didn't really have to be in jail for this. Fed time. But we take it on the chin like a soldier. Like, people don't understand what this diplomat shit was built about. I'll be watching the gram and I'll be watching these clowns and all these but boy, if you really get to live this last 20 years that I lived, you would understand, boy. I put everything on the line for this. And I took it with a smile. Even when niggas doubted me, niggas down me, when I was on trial and niggas told me I need to take the plea. Take what plea?
Stop. John.
This is him, I don't have time, but this is him crying about the hatred that Cameron has for him and how they can't stand each other. Give me another video.
Khan, is Cameron's response to what you just saw with Jim Jones.
So where I'm at.
And Cameron is going to explain his theory on why Jim Jones is actually mad at him.
Go ahead.
Khan, sir.
Whatever.
This
is what I did, and I'm not going wrong. I was dead wrong for this. I was dead fucking wrong, and this is where the whole shit collapsed at. This is where everything went all the way downhill. I'm being totally honest. Jim met Chrissy. And when he met Chrissy, he'd been liking Chrissy his whole life. He loved Chrissy, you know what I'm saying? But he just started messing with her. So, back then, it wasn't, even though now it's cool, back then, or even back then it might have been cool, we was just kind of new to having millions of dollars in money or whatever.
Yeah.
So, Jim just meet Chrissy and he started messing with her, and he buying her bags and buying her shoes, like the first 2-3 weeks he met her or whatever. So, I was like, yo, you tricking, man? What is you doing? You tricking, you bugging, or whatever. So, this is my mistake, and I'm being totally honest. And if I can do it over, I swear to God, I would do it all the way over.
You got another video? This is Cameron talking about how he began to say he was tricking, meaning his wife is a hoe, and you're buying things for her.
Right.
And he's explaining this thing in public.
Right.
In public, the Jim Jones is crying about how Cameron has hurt him.
Right.
Cameron is discussing how he hurt him anymore. In the
Well,
other video?
on this one, he basically explains. He basically made a shirt that said Jim Jones is tricking, and then on the back of the shirt, he doesn't support any of our homies in jail, and then listed the names of the homies that are in jail that Jim Jones don't support.
And give me
'cause he's tricking.
how Cameron treats the Joel Santana.
Count on count.
If you have another video of that, here's the
Count on
point,
count,
Akim.
sir.
This is what you all have to understand. If you have it, let me know. I'll break it down after this.
This isn't Cameron himself, but this is Joel answering about the whole
Go
situation.
ahead.
Okay, so this is Salakia, just so I can get the timestamp.
No problem.
2:30. Okay, Salakia. Gone.
To see and going still like I do. I still Dipset for life, Skull Gang forever. You dig what I'm saying? So as far as that, I mean, you know, I heard Cam on this interview. So as far as whether we gonna get back together, I mean, that's not really, you know what I mean? I can't really talk about it too much no more, you know. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just really about, it just seems like it's just like, it's an ongoing thing, and it's not really getting nobody nowhere. Cam said what he had to say. You dig, as far as, you know what I mean, he's, whatever reasons he said no, and he can't do nothing with Jim and Joel's for this. I mean, it was just weird.
You heard that, right, sir?
I heard it.
God.
What did he say?
Basically, he said, I don't, like, I'm dealing with my own thing. I don't really care about what Kim said. No, I can't do anything with Jim or Joel's.
I heard.
God.
Now, Akim, and you need this. The reason why I wanted to break this down for you tonight is because this is such a metaphor for how the UPK wins every battle that we're in. You might think that we win our battles because we study more, and we do. You might think we win our battles because we're more prepared, and we are.
God.
But that is not the reason that we win the battles that we win.
God,
We win the
God.
battles that we win because we love each other.
Right.
Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah. The Dipset lost that battle 10 years ago.
Right.
10 years ago, they lost that battle. And that what you have to know is 10 years early, you have to know that a battle is coming. Right. It's coming. And if you don't work out the problems that you have with each other, 10 years from now, you're going to be at camp with this same brother who you have not mended your brotherhood with, and your enemy is going to devour you. Because your enemy knows that you don't love your brother. When we battle a Christian church, I know I can divide them from each other. The purple faggots are, I know full well that I can make them not like each other. I'm on purpose saying things that is going to make this one divide from this one. You can do it. You can just, it's like a skill you can learn. You can learn to split them. You understand? You can look at them and study them and go, I'll talk about this. I know he doesn't agree with that. And I'm going to hammer this point. And you know what he'll say? He'll say, well, you got to ask him about that. That is a killer. If you hear somebody say, well, what about this? What about that? Well, you got to ask him about that. You know what that means, right?
We're not.
I'm not with that. I don't agree with that. That's him.
Right.
You can't ever say that. You agree with everything he said if he's your brother.
Right.
Everything he said is true.
Right.
Everything he said is right. If you're not there in your mind, you better prepare today. Being in the UPK is to prepare every day for a battle that is coming. It's on its way. You think 10 years ago, these brothers thought that one day we'd be on this giant platform, everybody looking at us, and our division would show. They didn't know.
Right.
You know what they thought about? They thought about how mad I am at him.
Right.
And how mad I am at what he didn't give me that money. And he didn't do this for me.
Right.
And he talked about my wife, or he's not helping the brothers in jail.
Right.
They thought about the incident that had them so angry, but they didn't think, what if I need him? And what if he needs me? We should not talk about this in public. we should go to him and thee alone so that our enemies don't see it. And one day on stage, and brother, the Locks on that show, the Locks brought up Max B. Who knows who the hell that is? Shaw, who's Max B?
Max B is another cat from Harlem that basically helped Jim Jones with his whole style
1 second.
and flow. And they had a big falling out.
They had a falling out. Who's the other one they brought up?
Salakia, what I was going to say from what the research I did, supposedly Jim Jones brought out Max, and basically because of the whole, basically from what I'm hearing, Max B is from Cameron's literal building in Harlem, and he got mad because Jim Jones was using him for features instead of saying, no, I'll help you get your album. So that
And you know what the Locks does? The Locks say, shout out to Max B. You understand? Because that is war, meaning if they know you don't love each other, they're going to go, hey, where's Max B at? He's the good one. Where's this other cat at? He's better. He's the good one. And listen, and here's what you have to see. When someone does that to you, you're going to feel like he's in your heart. Right. You're going to feel like, oh my God, he reached inside my soul. He knows about my problems and my issues I have with this brother. I can't win. Right. Shalai Yalla. Microphone. Time check too.
9:30.
Slocks, if I may real quick, he dug the dagger a little deeper when he said, I was with him for 3 weeks before he went to prison because I could understand what he's going through.
That was terrible. I saw that. Brother, that is the Locks. And the Locks, listen, the Locks love each other.
Right.
It's evident. You can see it on there that these are not three cats battling over position, battling over money. I can almost guarantee you they all make the same money.
Right.
Which is important. Right. I can guarantee you that Cameron makes more money than those other two.
Right.
I can see it on the screen on these videos Abad just sent me.
Right.
That this is the one who makes all the money, who talks to the white people, Cameron.
Right.
And the other two get money from him, which makes them hate him.
Right.
Because he's not ever giving them the money they deserve. And I can guarantee you that the Locks, even though that Jadakiss one is more skilled or more popular, he makes the same money as the other two.
Right.
And that makes them win. Right. That makes them win battles. It means no one is envious and hateful or feels unappreciated of the other one. So now, when the day comes that it's time for a battle, they destroy their enemies, man, because their enemies hate each other because they're beefing over women and money. Who had their hand up over here? Come on. Go ahead.
Cam also brought out a brother named J.R. Ryder.
That's the other name.
He's the nicest one out of the whole Dipset.
Where was he at?
I'm not sure because he also got his I forgot what was his. He got his whole group now.
Why wasn't he on the stage with the Dipset?
So like this thing from 10 years, you say? Cause
falling out with each other, right?
Right.
That's the point. The Dipset is just a bunch of people who hate each other, and you can't battle someone else if you hate yourself.
Right.
This is why brotherhood in the UPK is so important, because we stand on street corners battling. We can't hate each other. We don't have the luxury to hate each other, because we're going to get into battle this week in a few days.
Right.
So what are we going to do? Hate each other and argue? Well, what in the hell are we going to do when they come up? Because let me tell you what happens. And later on, when the Dipset does interviews about this battle, this is what they're going to say. Cameron is going to say, well, I was trying to do my hits, but they didn't want me to do this song. And they didn't want me to do that song. And, you know, because of them, I couldn't really. When Cameron came on at the end to do it by himself, that was him saying, I got lyrics. These other two don't. So just let me go up there and do my lyrics. And what happened? It was terrible. Because if you're all not together, none of you have anything.
Right.
And he doesn't see that. And in the later coming days and weeks, when they have to explain why they lost, they're going to blame each other.
Right.
It's going to be the other guy's fault. Well, you know, Jules Santana, he ain't never come to the practices. We tried to practice, but the Jules Santana, he never came. And Jim Jones, he was trying. I told him to come to the practice. He told me I couldn't do the song I wanted to do, and it's his fault. Well, Cameron never showed up. He was late every day to the practices, and that's why that happened. And they're going to hate each other, and that's why they lost. They lost this battle 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Now, are you willing to lose your battle? Hell no, not me. I'm winning my battles, brother. I'm destroying my enemies, brother.
Right.
I'm wiping them out. I'm erasing their memory from history. I'm doing that. And I will never do it if I hate you.
Right.
I have to forgive you. I have to appreciate you. I have to encourage you. I have to make all of you know that Commanding General YAHANNA loves you. He appreciates you. What do you need? Are your kids sick? How's your wife? Do you need more? Do you need some time off? Do you need this? Do you need that? Why? Because I am preparing for the day of adversity. It is coming, and we cannot be divided then. Precept. I asked someone to hold it for me. Captain. Proverbs 17 and 17. We got a rap, right, Captain? Go ahead. It's the last one about it. I think we made the point. Go ahead.
Salaki, I just wanted to iterate what you said about the Locks bigging up Max B is so funny because a lot of this started because 50 Cent bigged up Jim Jones as a hype man. Like basically you were Flavor Flav and now you're balling. And then to make matters worse, he was in beef with Cameron at this time. And then Jim Jones and Jules Santana go on stage with 50 Cent, which starts the whole thing with Cameron.
My God. Stuff like that, Ak, is just, you're not going to win a battle, Ak. You're going to lose a battle. You allow other people from the outside to influence you. That's another thing. I see a ton of fake. That Jesus Christ church that fell, a lot of their ex-members are making videos now saying that they were in a cult. I followed a cult. And when I hear them say that, I know what that means. That means my mama was right. My auntie was right. They told me I was in a cult and I didn't listen. And so that's why they're calling themselves a cult, that they were in this cult and now they've left it because finally what their mother said sunk in, what their auntie said sunk in. They've been divided from people in the world, from people outside of their religion, outside of the Jesus Christ church. They've got in their minds. So now they say, I was in a cult. That's why I was in that, because I was in a cult. Because that's what your mom used to always tell you. But you were pushing her out. But when you got angry at your brother, you let her in.
Right.
What do we have? Shalai Yalla, what do you want to bring up? Give him the microphone. I got to roll. Give it to Shalai Yalla, please. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Is this the same one?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Captain in the back, you read it.
I got it, sir.
Proverbs 17 and 17. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
A friend loveth at all times. Listen, if you're trying to be in the UPK, you're going to have to understand what all means. So most of you, if you're in the world, you don't even know what all means. All is not all. It's not my all. My all is all.
Right.
You understand? All times. Even when he's done something to you, he's angered you, he's offended you, he's absolutely wrong about this matter. Brother, I'm not losing love for this cat. My love is screwed to the fence. It cannot move. I'll go to him and I'll tell him and I'll correct it, but him and I are one. We're not leaving each other. And that's why so many of you can't have good marriages, because you don't understand what all times is. So many of you stupid bitches out there, when you marry a man and you say you're going to be with him forever, your forever is not my forever. We got two different forevers. My forever is when he gets another woman, that is still forever.
Right.
You understand? My all is all. Is everything, every offense, every tragedy, every terrible incident. I don't abandon someone I'm with. And if I don't understand the benefit of it, I might one day at camp, I might one day at the battle, I might one day at Versus know why I must forgive Max B.
Right.
Forgive this Dipset. Forgive these. I'll know one day why. I'll think on stage, damn, I should have forgave Max B. Because what would have killed it if Max B could have came out with them?
Right.
If Mace could have came out with them.
Right.
If they could have said, we love each other. Here's everybody who you were going to bring out. What would he have said about Max B when Max B is standing right there?
Right.
With him. What are you talking about? You ain't never come see me. I'm in the Dipset.
Right.
They couldn't do that because they hate each other.
Right.
And they're not prepared for the day of battle. This was the day of battle. They lost it 10 years ago. Are you going to lose yours? Because yours is coming. And if you hate your brother, and if you don't forgive your brother, one day at camp, some Christian or some Israelite is going to divide you and split you. And you're going to know why you lost. And so is everyone else. With that, pass the class over to the young officer.